day from Dubai. This is Adnan Baranbo, and this is a great new episode of AVIAPRENEURS podcast. In episode 6, I had the opportunity to meet and talk to Mr. Irakli Litanishvili, the owner and founder of Emperor Aviation. And today, I'm going to speak to my dear friend, Mr. Razvan Stefan, the CEO and the accountable manager of Emperor Aviation. Razvan is going to share with us his years of experience on how to manage a business aircraft professionally, effectively, and efficiently. Good day, Stefan. It's great to have you with us here today.
Good afternoon, Adnan.
Good afternoon.
First, allow me to thank you for the invitation to attend your podcast. It is a pleasure for me to share the floor with you, as always. It's not the first time when we do this. Especially considering that we are not just colleagues in this fascinating industry of business aviation, but also good friends on a private level.
It's a great pleasure and honor, my friend.
Second, looking at the previous esteemed guests you hosted, among which, as you mentioned, Irakli, looking at this, it's an honor for me to be part of your show also. And I would also like to take the opportunity to congratulate you for everything that you do for this aviation industry in general, because I know you share the same passion that I share for this business. Definitely. So thank you again.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you for accepting. I really appreciate it. So Razvan, you're from Romania, but you're living and working in Malta. You have a degree in electrical and mechanical engineering, and you started your career in Karbat Air. You started from the beginning as a ramp agent and a flight dispatcher. And then you moved to Hyperion Aviation, where you took charge as the manager of OCC and later post holder ground operation. And finally, you joined Emperor Aviation as CEO and accountable manager. You're also my fellow board member in Malta Business Aviation Association. What an impressive career you have.
Thank you. It's not so impressive like others, but I'm proud of it, to be very honest.
It's amazing. You have done a lot in a short period of time. So today we're going to talk together about business aircraft management. It's common practice for owners of business aircraft to assign the management of their aircraft for aircraft management companies, rather than managing it themselves and having to hire all the staff internally to take care of the operation of the aircraft. While at the same time, we see many business aircraft owners decide to establish in-house flight departments to take care of the aircraft operation. In your opinion and experience, what is the benefit and the value that aircraft management companies give to business aircraft owners?
Well, a very straightforward answer is very simple: the know-how. Yeah. Being connected to business aviation for more than 10 years now, I've managed to understand in depth the complexity of operating an aircraft. When talking about business jets, which at the end are assets valuing from millions to tens of millions of dollars, one should focus, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, on the following main aspects. Safety, definitely we start from here. You cannot convince me otherwise, because that's why I'm accountable manager.
Sure.
Cost efficiency and compliance with the legal requirements in place. And no matter what people say, I'm strongly convinced that the best way to achieve good results with regards to the aspects which I just named is by entrusting the management of such a complex toy, because at the end of the day, for some people it's a toy, to entities which know what they are doing and which are specialized on providing such services. And a good operator will definitely focus on the safety aspect and on protecting the asset. Any decent air operator certificate holder should have a proper safety culture in place, with clear processes which maybe reduce the risks of ending up in a disaster to a very low level. And I'm not talking here only about disaster in the proper way as we know it, accident. I'm talking also about a financial disaster. Yeah. So every operator should have clear processes in place to reduce the risk of ending up there. From a cost perspective, let's take a simple example. Let's say you operate your aircraft fully private. Yeah. But you still need people to manage it. This is not let's say long range business jet. It's not like a car. You get in the car, you drive it from A to B, and that's it. Even private operation now still requires flight operations guy, your camo guy, your ground operation and dispatch guy, etc., etc. You will tell me, yes, but I can use the pilots to do almost everything and so on. So I reduce costs by giving the pilots a lot of tasks, and that's it. But you might be right at the first view, but what are the costs of that in doing this in depth? Is it safe? Pilots need rest also, you know. Is it cost efficient? And if I come, let's take your example as handling agent. Yeah. If I come to you, among other things you do, if I come to you as Emperor Aviation and sign an exclusive handling service contract for 10 aircraft, yeah,
I will be very happy.
Okay, I'm very happy of working with you anyway. And let's say Razvan, as private person, comes to you with his private aircraft, which is only one aircraft. He will never get the same rate as Emperor Aviation, because Emperor Aviation comes with volume, long-term partnership, you know. So that's things which are very simple to assess from our perspective, but from a guy who just bought his own aircraft and wants to operate it alone. And last but not least, when we come to compliance with the legal side, you know, I tend to say, and I tell my colleagues, times of romantic aviation are gone. Yeah, we can forget about it. Romantic aviation was 15 years ago in another lifetime. Today, no matter that we operate the aircraft fully private or under an AOC, the requirements or the difference between requirements are not very big. You know, even private operation or NCC operation in EASA environment, non-commercial operation now, has its requirements. There are hundreds of regulation updates every month with regards to aircraft maintenance, for example, and aircraft operation. Not to talk about the latest hot topic, which will become very expensive, and you know it very good, sustainability. I mean, if you don't have the proper setup, all this may become very expensive. It might seem simple, but it's not. And I think the challenge is in educating the new generation of high net worth individuals, you know, especially the first-time buyers, about the complexity of operating an aircraft and how easy one could end up in a financial disaster. Anyway, long story short, because I'm sure you have many more questions coming for me, to conclude, when I will buy my first private jet, I will definitely go to an operator, first of all. And second of all, I will invite you for a ride. Okay.
And you will sign a contract for ground handling arrangement.
That's right. No problem with that. So, now, it's an important topic, and the know-how, it's not something to neglect.
Definitely. So you just mentioned that one of the benefits is the cost saving and efficiency. But we always hear that when a private aircraft owner own it and then give it to a management company, the management company can charter this airplane on their behalf when they don't want to fly. And many business owners think that when they give the aircraft for a management company, actually they can fly for free, because when the airplane is chartered, the revenue that's coming from the charter is going to offset the cost they have to pay when they fly themselves. Is this belief true?
This is a very good question indeed, and I'm really happy that you addressed it. I'm not using it as a cliche. It's really good question. Unfortunately, I have to say there are entities out there that in this jungle fight to get new clients are ready to promise anything to achieve their target. This is a business model which, in my humble opinion, belongs to the past. We have to change our mentality to adapt it to the reality of today. We have a new generation of aircraft owners, definitely coming, I feel it. These people understand the numbers. These are not people who made their fortune out of luck. Yeah, they understand the numbers, they understand the reality, and they understand the concept. It is absolutely wrong and complete suicide to promise things which cannot be achieved. This is my mentality. Those being said, and to come back to your question, no, the concept of flying almost for free is not realistic. Yeah, it's absolutely not realistic. It does not exist. But putting the aircraft under a management company holding an AOC, which entitles it to charter the aircraft, can definitely significantly reduce the costs. In a realistic world, let's take a long-range business jet. Yeah, can fly 800 hours per year, best case scenario, considering schedule and non-schedule maintenance, AOGs, crew duty time, so on. Yeah, let's say 800. If out of this 800, owner flies 400 and the rest of 400 hours produce charter revenue, then the yearly operating cost can be reduced, in my experience, with approximately $2 million, let's say, plus minus. Yeah, of course, all depends on the type of the aircraft, but reducing the costs with 2 million is a significant number. It's not for free, but 2 million is an amount which adds value. Of course, all depends on the type of the aircraft. Yeah, but however, quite far from stating that the owner can fly the aircraft almost for free. No, these are legends. And this comes from what I was saying before. There was a tendency in the past to promise things which had nothing to do with reality. Again, my humble opinion, those times are gone. Transparency is the future, and the road to building trustful and successful relations. This is a healthy business model. Yeah. So these are my 2 cents here, and the reality proved me during these years that I'm right, at least in our case. Yeah.
I appreciate the advice. So as you say, the business model is very promising. And as I see that the aircraft management companies have done very well in the last years. So if I was jealous and I decided that I want to get into this business, how many aircraft you think I should have under my management in order to have this business covering the cost and making a profit? What is the optimal number? We see some aircraft operator having 1 aircraft as under management. Others have 10s. Some big ones have in hundreds. So what's the optimal number a management company should have under management?
Well, it depends on the business model. But if we are talking about purely aircraft management companies, I mean, almost purely, yeah, which operate, let's say, 80% owner flights and 20% charter flights, with all aircraft belonging to the owners, not to the company. I think a fair and realistic number for a medium company like Emperor Aviation, to give our example, is between 10 and 20 aircraft, but very important, maximum 4 aircraft types. It's a very important aspect because, in my opinion, having 10 aircraft, out of which 7 different aircraft type, cannot be efficient and cost effective, because you need a lot of manpower to manage it. So it's better to have a proper setup, yeah, with a clear team, which when you dimension the things, you say, okay, I can cover with this team up to 15 aircraft and 3 aircraft type. I don't have to hire more to be able to have a healthy business model, because more aircraft time mean more legal requirements, which translates in more manpower. Finding the right balance, it's not easy, and the business model must be clearly defined from the beginning. But in my opinion, a good number is the one mentioned before, between 10 and 20 aircraft and maximum 4 aircraft type. Of course, I'm not against growing far away from me this thought, but any growth must be, I love the classic concept. Any growth must be organic and sustained by numbers. Mathematics doesn't lie to you, you know, so if you take a company like Emperor Aviation, where you want to have a decent turnover, I think 10 to 20. I know it's a very big gap between 10 and 20, but if you go over 20, then the concept changes. Yeah. So this is my opinion.
You are very specific. I mean, 10 to 20 aircraft, 3-4 maximum 3-4 type of aircraft. It's very specific and it's very easy to follow. You just mentioned that there are some companies actually manage the aircraft fully and some company combine between management and charter. And we see many companies in the market which is purely charter. They own the aircraft and they charter it for people willing to fly on private jets. So here we have a competition. The management company, when they quote for charter, all their quotes are subject to owner approval. While the charter companies, they don't have this condition. Isn't it very hard for you as a management company to actually win charter business with this condition, which is tying your hands and making it hard for you to confirm right away? How do you manage to compete with that charter companies?
Well, again, I say here, and maybe maybe I have a different way of looking to things. First of all, you are a management company, yeah? Again, it comes to business model. You should never have the goal to compete with charter operators. Charter operator is one, management company is something else, yeah? There are two very different business models. I strongly believe that management companies should have strong partnership relations with charter companies, yeah? To be able to cooperate in case of an AOG, crew unavailability, whatever. I am a guy who does not truly believe in competition as per such today in today's business aviation. I believe in cooperation, and I know for sure there is place for everyone in our industry. COVID proved this. For example, we many times transported crew members of other companies in the industry for free, of charter companies, of other management companies, to facilitate crew changes, for example, or whatever. Of course, the favor was returned to us when needed. When it comes to Emperor Aviation, we always make it clear to our customers during preliminary discussions, for example, what can be achieved from a numbers perspective. And we try to make the owner approval process as smooth as possible. I mean, we tell him, look, if you want to give the aircraft a charter, I cannot wait for you 12 hours to approve it. Either we agree from the beginning that it's a fast process, either we don't do it, you know, because we don't want to waste your time, my time, and also to damage our reputation on the market, because it's very easy. They will all know, this operator has to wait 2 hours, 2 days with this aircraft to get the approval. No, it doesn't work like that. And we try to invest as much as possible as a group, as you know, and Irakli mentioned this to previous conferences and even at your podcast, to different IT solutions to make the process smooth. But no, we are not a competitor of a charter operator. And this is where people should understand that yes, competition, I agree, but competition should be more in the term of providing good quality service. And
collaboration. They call it co-opetition now. Co-opetition.
Co-opetition.
It's collaborative competition.
Yeah, this is what I believe, and it's not the first time when I'm touching this topic. Luckily for me, we share the same vision, me, Irakli, and our colleagues. Yeah.
Perfect. So business aircraft management actually is a global business, and you can do your business all over the world. And you just mentioned to us the value that aircraft management company can provide to the aircraft owner. But at the same time, the aircraft owner has so many options, so many jurisdictions, and so many aircraft management companies in any place around the world whom they can sign a management agreement with. In your opinion and experience, what makes an aircraft owner choose a particular aircraft management company over the other? How are they different from each other?
It's very simple, the answer, in my opinion, and it's tested on our operation. And it is connected somehow with what I said to your question number 2 or 3, transparency. You need to be transparent and open. It is one of the reasons for which I truly enjoy working with Emperor Aviation. And if you want, it's even something part of our culture. It's the approach fully embraced by our board of directors. And look, it doesn't work today, as I said, like it worked 10 years ago. The new generation of aircraft owners are very well documented. Yeah. We have a no kickback policy, for example. We are very transparent with numbers, with invoices, one-to-one, and we always, every year provide conservative budgets. Yeah, I prefer to be conservative and to be able to go to the yearly meeting with the customer and say, look, this is what we planned. 4 million euro, it costed you 3.9 million. Yeah. Try to be conservative. And in fact, to tell you the truth, we never went over a planned budget. And that's how we gained the trust of our customers. And of course, we hear a lot of stories on the market, kickback, this, that. Okay, I'm not interested in these discussions. And I also don't want to put bad light on my friends and on our friends and on our colleagues from other companies. We just do our best to be very realistic and open when it comes to number. And again, looking at our experience, we signed 3 contracts last year, out of which 2 came via recommendation from our existing customers. And I think it came because they realized during all those years in which we worked with them, we are transparent. Of course, let's not be hypocrite. Quality of services, safety standards, everything matters. But it starts with building a trustful relationship. And this comes from transparency. Easy, as simple as that.
So transparency is actually the difference maker. And actually this kind of answer my next question, which is about how to win a management contract, because this contract is actually a major contract. The aircraft owner will rarely change an aircraft management company from one to another unless he has a problem with the previous company. So in light of the fact that there are limited number of aircraft owners and good number of aircraft management companies, other than new aircraft owners coming to the market how do you win aircraft management contracts from the current aircraft owners who already have aircraft for many years? How can you win new business?
It's not something easy, of course, and we don't particularly go and hunt on the market from other companies. Yeah, but if Adnan hears from Razvan that he has his aircraft with Emperor Aviation, and he wants to know, okay, why do you pay same aircraft? Let's say we meet in Dubai, and you have a global, I have a global, and I tell you, it costed me 5 million last year to fly around 400 hours, and you say, oh, really? It costed me 9 million. So where is the difference? And then we sit at the table. We discuss, like I said, conservative budget. We introduce customers to our process. You know, it's very hard to explain them in simple terms, but if they have an aircraft, they understand what this means. And we explain them how we do things. We even show them our numbers, our contracts. It's not a secret. On top of that, we invest a lot in training. Yeah, because there are 2 aspects which are very looked now from an owner perspective who had an aircraft. One is the safety record, definitely, because he doesn't want to put his family in danger. And second one is your accreditations. And a very important accreditation, and it was a surprise for me, to be very honest, but I'm always asked when I'm meeting a new potential customer, is BAO, for example. As BAO, like you have in your handling, is BAO.
International Standard for Business Aircraft Operation.
Correct. Now we are going for level 3. Yeah, we had it for 6 years, 5 years almost, and now we are going for level 3, which requires a very in-depth audit with regards to whatever aspects of CAMO, of operations, flight operations, and this requires your people to be trained. Yeah, and we are not afraid to invest in training, and we also share this to our potential customers. Guys, this is our training records. We have so many people in CAMO department. They are all trained at this standard. Our pilots will always go to this exercise, although it's not a requirement. This is what we do. And when you are open from the beginning and you tell them, yes, it will cost you maybe additional 5,000, 10,000 euro per year to do this additional training for your crew. But the advantage which you get from it, it's big. And they tend to understand. I will repeat myself the third time. It's a new generation coming. And this is the market which we need to target now. And we have to understand their mindset. Yeah, it's not like it used to be. So
yes.
Yeah.
Actually, you really provided very valuable advice about aircraft management. We learned a lot, and I'm sure the audience are ready now to go ahead and launch their own aircraft management companies based on all the recommendations and advice you have and information.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap.
This is something else. We have another episode about aircraft financing and business financing, but now it's about the principles. So after we discussed aircraft business management, I'm going to go back to your career. You started your career 17 years ago, and you started at a very entry basic level as a ramp agent and a flight dispatcher. And then you actually climbed the corporate ladder to boss holder ground operation. And now you are the CEO of and accountable manager of your company. In a very short period of time, you could achieve a lot. And this frankly gives hope to so many listeners and viewers of the podcast. They can see that hard work actually pays. And if you really put hard efforts, you can do whatever you want and reach whatever stage and position you want. So in brief, what advice, what recommendation, and what lessons you would like to share with the listeners of the podcast? These people, aviators, aviation professionals, and aviapreneurs who are willing to actually climb the corporate ladder like you did and reach to the highest positions in their organizations. What should they do?
You've made me a bit more nostalgic now. You know, I'm in aviation for 17 years, like you correctly stated now. And for sure, what I remember is the first day. This I remember, and I will never forget when I had my interview for a ramp agent position. And here we are today. I don't know when time flew. It was for sure the blink of an eye. I can clearly see the first day and today. To the future talents, because I like to call them talents, future aviation professionals and aviapreneurs. We have a new term because of your podcast, which I'm sure will resonate in the future. I can give my 2 cents inputs. Number one, and the most important, no matter what people tell you that they make million in aviation and the money is this and that. No, number one, it requires passion. Without passion, nothing can be achieved in this industry. It's not a job which you can just do for the financial advantages. I'm absolutely convinced of that. Whether you like it and you will succeed, whether you don't and you will not succeed. It's as simple as that. You require passion. And it's an industry in which you realize very fast if you have the passion or don't have the passion. As you correctly stated, I finished electronics and telecommunication at university, and for me, electronics was everything at that time. But I ended up by mistake in aviation, and it was done. I understood that this is what I want to do. And number two, and this is also very important, it requires years of work, and hard work. If you have these two and you get in, I promise you, you will never get out of aviation. It's absolutely an amazing industry, and for sure the reward will come. It will not come fast. You will not start fast to travel. I was looking when I was a ramp agent to my colleagues, colleagues who are in the industry for a long time. They are traveling this, there, and I want also to travel, and I wanted it then on spot. Now it doesn't work like that. It takes time, but the reward will come. Aviation gave me the chance to visit, as we speak today, over 20 countries, to meet hundreds of people, to make friends all over the world. And of course, it comes also with the financial stability to live a normal life. I'm not hypocrite, I'm not hiding, but it took time. Also, aviation gave me the chance, for example, to meet my wife and build a beautiful family. It took me 70 years to get here, yes, but all this period has been filled with moments I will never forget, good and bad. We cried together, we laughed together with my colleagues, but these moments I will always keep with me, and I will always cherish. And yeah, these are my few cents. And because we are speaking about future talents, I think it is time that, and we have these initiatives, you, me, our very good friend Stanley, which you hosted in your first episode. I think it is time to give something back. And together, we must work on solutions to help future generations of aviators and aviapreneurs to understand, do they want aviation? Do they have passion for it? And if yes, we need to help them build their careers and share with them our knowledge and expertise, because we also need to give back.
Indeed,
to aviation.
You have given a lot. Thank you for your 2 cents. Actually, they are very valuable 2 cents. I really appreciate your time. I wish the best for you and for your family. And I really enjoyed the discussion, like I'm sure everybody here listening and watching us. I hope to see you soon, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure and an honor. I'm looking forward for the next episodes.
Definitely.
Ciao.
Bye-bye, my friends. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
AVIAPRENEURS. I enjoyed so much the talk today with Razvan Stefan from Emperor Aviation. I'm sure you enjoyed it like I did, and I look forward to seeing you next week with another AVIAPRENEUR, another success story. See you next week. Have a great day.